Folks, welcome back to an all-new Pop Culture Roundup. We are starting the week off strong, or I guess semi-strong. We have, from the hit podcast Snarkbait, the one, the only, Sophie Ross Brooks. Sophie, what is going on?
Hello. I feel like we have a lot to talk about today.
We do. I was just making a list, and then I was like, and then it's so funny because I talked to you last week, and I was like, did we talk about the Scheana Brock thing? And I think we did, but there are so many other things, and I just, to tell the audience, Sophie called me in tears on Wednesday, and she was like, oh my God, is Jax going to be okay? Is he going to find a new job? I was really wanting him on season 3 of The Valley, and I was like, Sophie, he obviously did these things that are very wrong, but you are very pro-Jax.
I was so devastated, you guys. I had to call in sick from work. But you know what picked me up was the news that Nick Viall is getting a new show with his wife.
Nick Viall. For people that love grooming younger people, there is a show. No, I'm joking. We will get into the Nick Viall of it all, but I guess the big news in reality shows this week was there was a lot of speculation if season 3 of The Valley, if Jax was going to be invited to come back. And Jax released a statement this week saying that he, after talking with his team and production, has decided to step away from The Valley. And Sophie, what were your thoughts when you read Jax's statement?
Obviously, you guys, Ryan is joking. I was on such a high. I was on such a fucking high when this news broke. And then I saw the Nick Viall news and then Pete Davidson's girlfriend's caption announcing her pregnancy. And both of those ruined my mood. But anyway, with the Jax thing,
Wait, you're not happy for Pete Davidson?
I'm happy for Pete Davidson, but did you see the caption?
Oh, no. What was the caption? What was the caption?
Well, now everyone knows we had sex.
Oh.
But we'll get to that, obviously.
I did see that.
I was really pleasantly surprised that Bravo made the right decision. Because I know there's been a lot of conversation about, maybe it's safer to have him on TV. I do care about what's safer, quote unquote, because I don't want anyone to get hurt. But why are we rewarding someone who is clearly dangerous with a platform,
Yeah. I mean, that to me, once you get further away from the decision, it's an obvious decision that I think they had probably been planning to make. And I think with anything, whether it be Dorinda, being on pause, is that they let these Bravo people put out statements saying they've decided to step away to save face. I will say, though, it's an open-ended statement, where I do believe it has given him the option to come back at a certain point.
You think so?
I do. They did not. I mean, I think they've positioned it to him as saying, if you keep your nose figuratively and literally clean, there is a possibility that you can come back to reality television. Maybe not even the Valley, but think about it. They did not release an official statement saying, we will never work with this man again. But it didn't say, I think they positioned it as just get your shit in order and get let's be careful about whatever statements you make from this point on. And Jax can be a hothead, so he has not really done anything really egregious. I think whoever finally he is listening to, the people that represent him, and he's just got to, I don't know, but the reunions were already filmed, so we're not going to also get an addendum where Andy sits down with him and talks about this decision, because that would also be platforming an abusive person at this point.
See, I personally would be surprised if he ended up coming back to reality TV. I think that this was supposed to be his redemption arc. I think that Bravo actually thought it would be Jax's redemption arc. He's back, he's a
because
family man.
they gave him a chance. He should have made this. And
exactly.
Isn't it funny, Sophie, how we all people in these situations tend to misread the situation entirely. First off, I do think he's a very troubled individual, but second off, I think he almost thought of this is what they love about Jax Taylor. I'm going wild. Even when he was in the out of the mental health facility and they were in Hawaii, he's like, I got to get in there and stir shit up. No, you don't. You literally don't have to do that. You could actually just show us you working hard as hell on yourself and just do what your actual life, what you should be doing. And I think people would respond to that. We've already seen 13 years of Jax being this way. And then the last scene of the Valley this week with him and Brittany, you're just like, oh yeah. Like why would you want to continually watch something that makes the viewers really scared at a point?
Yeah, and it's not even like fun to watch anymore. I think that there was kind of like, when it was originally going down, their really bitter divorce, everyone was like, ooh, what's going to happen on the Valley? Now it's like, it's not fun to watch anymore. It's toxic. It's terrifying. He is never wrong. He is always the victim. Why are you trying to hurt the father of your child? And then also him trying to hack into her security system was terrifying. You guys, he is doing
I'm right here. I'm right here, Brittany. God, give me the code. I'm right here.
And it's so crazy because in that moment, like she knows him. So she knows that this is bullshit. In that moment, he actually is such a fucking good liar. But like he is trying to get that information so that he knows when she's home alone, when she's gone. He is literally a fucking scary ass stalker.
Yeah, she's like, I love, but I mean, to Brittany's credit, is like, let me put this on speakerphone, because she knows Jax will be a hothead at some point. And even in that last scene when she's like, are you on Xanax right now? You're not acting like mom. Because she's right. Like he knows when he's on camera to portray himself in a certain way. This is not his first rodeo, but I will say, just as any sort of slim empathy that you would have for him, I hope he can actually use this time to truly commit to all of this change. And because, I think what scares me about season 3, regardless if he's there or not, he still will be referred to. You don't think Brittany will be in scenes and refer to, I know we're calling Janet Voldemort this episode, but won't he be referred to as the person who shall not be named? But he will still be, because I don't believe he will be making her life roses at this point on.
I'm sure. But also you kind of sound like Schwartz when you say that. I think that everyone's going to really hold space for the fact that Jax has potential to change. You guys, he's not changing. No. He is irredeemable. He is not changing. And that's why I'm like, for them to bring him back in the future, he will always remain a liability.
Yeah, I mean, you really are. I mean, you really are right. I mean, and that
like
is
always, always.
There's a broken clock is right twice a day. You know what I'm talking about, folks? No, it is true though, if you think about it, because if you position it to somebody that we're like, we're not going to renew your contract, but they could even be kind of putting that butt out there just to keep him clean, knowing that he won't. He won't take this as some sort of learning experience and a growth experience. My thought is also, though, Jax's bar, there's no way that bar is going to continue for another year. Who is going there right now for the vibes? And secondly, if you were going there, you're going there because it's been talked about on this show. At this point, would you ever go to Jax's saloon, Studio City? I mean, I think that thing is about 6 months away from closing.
Wait, actually, I'm going to be in LA with Christy again on the weekend of August 14th.
Well, we'll be going that weekend. Of course, we'll be going that weekend, of course. I don't mean us.
It's on our list for like a Vanderpump bar crawl. But yeah.
Oh my God. Jax will be there, and then you can do that thing that he said in the after show where a girl handed him his panties, and that's why it was at their place. Remember the white panties on top of the baby wipes?
Yeah.
So
of course.
If we see Jax, we'll just throw him a bunch of panties so he can blame us on that.
And you throw him like a pair of tidy whities.
It's a huge pair of men grandpa panties.
Aiden Shaw tidy whities.
I wear, by the way, Sex in the City this week, Aiden said, I wear a speed stick. I'm like, bullshit. You're another one who doesn't wear any sort of deodorant. Aiden never struck me
so gross.
He's a natural. But anyway, so Jax Taylor is gone. We're having thank God the last episode of The Valley is this week, and then a 3-part reunion.
Wow, it's 3 parts.
It's 3 parts.
Oh, they're big time, baby.
So what I have been told is that this reunion, so obviously everybody knows about the first rehab. The second rehab, I keep reminding people, happened in November after they had stopped rolling. But I think there was a conversation, I believe, in the reunion. I don't think we're going to see it, that I believe the second incident that happened off camera and away after shooting was that I think there was some sort of physical thing that potentially happened between Jax and Brittany, or he might have thrown another thing or something. So when you hear about that, the decision is more and more obvious what they had to do. But I'm curious of what discussions are going to be had. Andy kind of, obviously diplomatically talked about it on his Sirius XM radio show this week and said, I think that's the right move for Jax. I think that's the right thing to do. So I'm curious what other things will pop out of this. But you mentioned he's not fun to watch. I'm curious, though, with a lot of people, what parts are fun to watch on the Valley?
I honestly love watching Nia and Kristen's friendship.
It's very real, right?
Yeah, for sure. I also think that Janet is like a necessary villain. And so while people are calling for her to be next, like the comments of the Jax announcement post, everyone was like, Janet next. It's like, what do you guys want then? That's not a show.
I mean, truly think about this. And I'm not I understand why Janet is disliked going by what we've seen. I understand that. But if you don't have that character, that type of character, what are we? I mean, what are we dealing with at this point? I understand people disliking her in these scenes, but for us to call for the removal of Janet, I think is very short-sighted. I do think, from what I'm also told, that Schwartz still will be a part of the Valley, even though Jax will not be there. And
okay, I'm okay with that.
Now, Lala, I'm still confused, what role she fills on the Valley, but I'm told she will be back.
No.
And who knows? Well, I mean, I just don't understand what role. The other thing is, Scheana, does she get bumped up to full-time cast member, especially with the Brock information? Obviously, Scheana will be back in a friend of role, but will she be bumped up to series regular? I talked to her this week for the release of her book, and that'll be out later this week. And I know that, she would be willing, and if they had her back, Brock and her would be having these conversations that they would have had on season 12 of Vanderpump Rules. Would you be there for that?
Are you allowed to tell the baddies that you were the one that broke the news to Scheana?
Yeah, I did break the news about Jax to Scheana. And listen, I'm not saying, I've been lied to by cast members here and there, but they really did seem to keep this cast in the dark about what was happening with Jax. Mm-hmm. Truly, that seemed, I
believe it.
They did see, or she seemed to be very surprised. I mean, not surprised and surprised. She didn't know that was actually happening. But I do think without Jax there, it is a large cast already. And I think there's a lot of things already at play. But I could see Scheana being moved up and then making that conversation between her and Brock. And also, Sheena's had a longstanding friendship with Janet. If you're looking to shore up people around Janet, since she is so disliked on the show, that's another obvious, avenue to go. I don't know. I'm just kind of I'm doing what sports do in the off season.
I mean, I agree that Scheana could work full time. I am not thrilled about the idea of Lala being back. I think that even her friend of brief scenes this season, I fast forwarded through them.
Okay, I just was made aware of Mint Mobile, and now I am using it, and I don't know why I wasn't using it before, because I was getting burned by my old wireless bill, and that's why I switched to Mint Mobile. And for a limited time, Mint Mobile is offering 3 months of unlimited premium wireless service for $15 a month on the nation's largest 5G network. You heard that right. $15, only $15 a month. Say goodbye to your overpriced wireless plans, jaw-dropping monthly bills, and unexpected overages. Mint Mobile is here to rescue you. All plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. So ditch those overpriced wireless. Get 3 months of unlimited service from Mint Mobile for $15 a month. I am using it. You can even use your old phone number. This year, skip breaking a sweat and breaking the bank. Get this new customer offer and your 3-month unlimited wireless plan for just $15 a month at mintmobile.com/sobad. That's mintmobile.com/sobad. It should be so good, but the show is called So Bad, so I get that. Upfront payment of $45 required, equivalent to $15 a month. Limited time new customer offer for first 3 months only. Speeds may slow above 35 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Taxes and fees extra. See Mint Mobile for details. Folks, if you've been listening to the show, you know that I have been on a health journey for the last couple of months, and it's going amazing. But sometimes it is so hard to go out to the store, get all the things that you need, and then cook for hours to try to uphold a healthy lifestyle. And especially because it's summer. And summer, you want to spend as much time outdoors or recording podcasts that you possibly can. So you do not want to be spending those hours cooking inside. And that is where Factor comes in. Factor's chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals are ready in just 2 minutes, taking the hassle out of eating well. Factor meals arrive fresh and ready to eat, and it is perfect for any active lifestyle over summer and beyond. Get this, they have over 45 weekly menu options. You can pick gourmet meals that fit your summer gains and goals, and you choose from options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, Keto, and more. Factor powers your day sun up to sundown with nutritious breakfasts, on-the-go lunches, premium dinners, and guilt-free snacks and desserts. Factor has your whole day covered. Enjoy more this summer. Get Factor if you want all the flavor and none of the fuss. Get started at factormeals.com/SoBad50off and use code SoBad50off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That's code SoBad50off at factormeals.com/SoBad50off. So that's SOBAD, the numbers 50OFF for 50% off plus free shipping. Factormeals.com/SoBad50off.
She's so contrived. She's so fake. I can't with Lala.
Well, so somebody that's always acting like they're above it all is not fun to watch. Like, you know, like you're as much of a mess as all of us are. You know, like you don't have a lot figured out, just like a lot of us don't have a lot figured out. So when you come from that place of wisdom and knowing everything, I think that sometimes is a big turnoff to watch on reality TV, especially when we've seen how she moved in the last season of Vanderpump Rules.
Correct. But yeah, I mean, like, we don't need a villain in Jax anymore. Like, not that we ever actually did. I feel like Janet has filled that villain role for, you know, the duration of the show for the most part. There's also Jesse Lally. Like, there are enough villains on the show. Like, we don't need Jax.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I'm fine with that.
But isn't it funny? Like, I was really on the fence, and I think a lot of people like, do they, don't they?
Yeah.
And when you really talk it out and think, you know, you're like, yeah, this was the obvious choice. I mean, this is really getting to a point where it could be very dangerous all the way around. And yeah, the Valley is not about good vibes, but it is definitely shouldn't be about watching the explosion of a very toxic person interacting with somebody that ended their relationship. I mean, it really is like eerie watching it at this age that they all are, and especially when children are involved. And, you know, watching this after show, and you really do, whatever you think about Brittany, and I'm very pro Brittany, she puts a lot of work into making sure her son has everything. I'm not saying Jax doesn't love his son, but taking him like she was taking him to all the doctor's appointments and all of these people she has working with crews. And that's why it's so important. That was the other thing of like, fuck, where's Jax going to get this money so we can pay half of these medical bills?
Yeah, and I've seen conspiracy theories about how, he actually did quit the show so that he would be broke and he wouldn't have to pay child support. And it's like, Jax loves being on TV too much. And also, I think there are laws against that.
Yeah, he did not, guys, he did not quit the show. He did not, I mean, he did not. And usually this is not, they're not like a baseball player. They're not on like 5-year contracts, you know, like they are season to season. They just won't renew your contract. But also when you come in so cocky and say, this is my show, that's never a good sign. That's always a sign that you will fall.
He's 2 for 2. He's 2 for 2 now. I'm saying that and then getting fired.
He cursed himself. He damn cursed himself. Luckily, there are so many other bad vibes in the Valley that this show will at least go for probably another 2 seasons, I predict. But I've had so many long conversations about this show. I'm just happy that it'll be over very soon because I truly, Sophie, I get into such a bad vibe. Like I when I do these recaps with the Valley specifically, I dread them. I hate talking. You know, it's just like, because you realize just how it's like, it gets gross after a point. So that is happening over on the Valley. Season finale this week. And it looks like Jax is going after Danny in this one again, saying, you ain't no princess, Danny, because he says, Danny, he tells all the guys, he says, my business partners at my bar says, this guy is risking our business. Danny coming here doing these things. I'm like, you're actively doing cocaine at your bar. Your business partners never took you aside and said, we can't have one of the business partners that names on the bar doing fat rails of coke at our bar.
Remember that video also of Jax changing Cruz's diaper on the bar at Jax's bar?
Yeah, and then the health bureau actually had to come in and do a report on it.
Also, the one time he changed Cruz's diaper, probably. One time, the single time. Oh my God.
I'm gonna do shots with sharks.
Oh my God. And also, I think it's the finale of Next Gen NYC, which I'm really sad about.
Next Gen NYC, now that is just another vibe show where it is really not tons happens, but enough happens. And you've really gotten, I really enjoyed it. I think it's going to get a second season pickup. But can I say something? Do you realize how hard the editors and production are working to make Brooks?
Yes.
Brooks a character that actually, they literally have now taken to having a pop-up bubble of his mom, Meredith Marks, going, disengage.
Yes.
And because he doesn't talk.
They're so Brooks, we kind of centered the show around you. So we're actually going to need you to say stuff. And now it's just a voiceover, and it's not funny. It's supposed to be this stream of consciousness, voiceover where he's disengaging, whatever. It's so stupid, but it's so funny that when the show was announced, it was Brooks and Gia. Those were the two headliners, and they're the biggest duds.
They truly are the biggest duds, and they might be great people in real life, just on TV. But it just shows you how much production. TV. Well, it just shows you how much production and editing it really does help, because they are trying to do these little funny things to actually make him a character that is at least on this earth, because he just sometimes seems like he's completely checked out. And I don't know him in real life to know if that's how he goes about his business or if he's just nervous in front of the cameras. But do you bring him back the next season when they renew it for a second season?
I think they will, because he's kind of the glue. He seems to be friends with everyone. And I do like Brooks. Next Gen NYC actually has made me like him and appreciate him as a human being, just not as a reality star. I think he seems like a really nice guy. He's just a dud. I think that Georgia is really entertaining. Obviously, Ariana and Hudson. Ariana? Ariel?
Ariana?
Ariel Bierman? What is her name?
Now you've got me second guessing.
I'm sorry.
You got me. Ariana Bierman.
Ariana Bierman. I had it right the first time. And then Charlie, even though he's a mini Jax and extremely toxic, he's very entertaining. Riley, I think, is very entertaining. I think that there are a lot of really promising up and coming young stars.
That one episode with Charlie trying to get his speaker back and then him just skateboarding around the city. I was like, this is good.
He's Kelly Bensimon with a skateboard.
He's running. He's skateboarding next to Kelly Bensimon, just running. I don't know. It'll be really. But also, I hear they're doing a Next Gen LA, which I'm curious who they would pull for that.
Who's going to be in that?
Well, I mean, if you think about, so Kyle's daughters could be in that.
Oh my God, so this is a whole franchise.
Well, and then I hear they're doing a Valley. Well, I don't think this has been taught. I hear they're doing a Valley-esque spinoff in the OC as well.
I actually heard they're doing Next Gen Cincinnati after they do the LA one.
They're doing Next Gen Bakersfield. They're doing Next Gen
Satan.
Next Gen San Quentin. It's going to be a prison one. It's going to be really good. No, but that might be not the answer to Bravo's problems, but if you have something that you can kind of create a universe out, they've tried it with Winter House and things of that nature. So listen, I think the Valley.
It's Housewives.
Yeah, exactly. So, we'll see what happens, but I do know the Shaws of Sunset reboot is what it's called, the Persian style. It's called Persian style, but that is going to have the Valley moniker on it as well. It's called the Valley Persian style.
The Valley Persian style.
The Valley. This is called the Valley So Bad It's Good, and Sophie's is the Valley Snark Bait.
Exactly. We're under the umbrella, the Valley umbrella.
Yeah. No, it's hard, I would imagine, with anybody these days in terms of reality TV, when you have a juggernaut like Love Island USA, which it feels like that's been off the air for a month, but it's been just a week. And the
Are you
discourse.
okay? Are you like going through withdrawals?
Oh, Sophie, I am so thrilled. I'm ecstatic it's over. I'm ecstatic. But the show, it's a really good study, not the show itself, but what's happening after the show and not only the discourse with the fans, but all of these islanders, even like the people that have played really small roles, like they came out here after and they have like a content house in LA and they're all trying to hang out with each other and boost their social media and posting. And like some of the Casa Amor guys who came on like midway through the season and were only on for like maybe a week. It's so funny. Their TikToks, they'll post something and the comments will be like, how about going to look for a new job? How about going to get a job? Like, it'll just be job. Like, what about a job?
Yeah, they're like in their fuck ass hype house or whatever. It's like, hey, so like, are you brushing up that resume?
Well, but also then, you have all of this kind of silliness in terms of trying to get a social media following and extend your 15 minutes. But then you have all of these deeper conversations about race, America, politics, all of these things that have been like thrown out because of the show. I just sometimes wonder, it's like, I love having conversations like that. I think that's so important. But sometimes you're like, can Love Island USA be any sort of foundation to have any true meaningful discussion about things that really matter? Because Sierra Ortega today, and I know you didn't watch, but I think you saw she posted. Oh,
God. Yeah.
Christy from Snarkbait, we had a great discussion about this, and she's Asian American. And obviously the use of a slur towards Asians was used by Sierra a couple of times, and she did this big, long apology video. But then today she woke up and she was in Mykonos and she did that post of like, people say, you look happier now. Well, it's because I survived the villain edit on a reality show and realized the guy that I thought liked me actually was after my friend the whole season long, or some shit like that. But the Nick part of it, Nicolandria, her referring to, I don't give a shit about, but her saying I got a villain edit has stuck in my mind since this morning. Because first off, it just shows you how aware all of these people that go on reality shows now are aware of how they work. But also, she didn't get a fucking villain edit. She had to face the consequences. But she had to face the consequences of her own actions. In fact, the show really protected her by just removing her, and they didn't say a damn thing about it. They didn't let people discuss it. There was no conversation. So there was no villain edit. And that kind of offends me as a reality TV show viewer of like, girl, that's what you think happened. Is that where you're going with this week?
It's so Hannah Berner coded. But also the fact that like she made her apology and then she immediately went. And again, I'm not like a Love Island really close follower, but I noticed how she went immediately back to posting like normal. And now is playing the victim. It's like, oh my God, you're not even pretending to care, take a step back, or quote unquote reflect.
No, but that's the sickness, is because she's now trying to ride the wave of how insanely successful this show is. And it's just like push through, keep posting, instead of doing what her initial apology message was of like listening and learning and taking this speed. No, you've got to stay on this hype train. You've got to get a piece of the attention. Oh shit, I didn't get interviewed on Call Her Daddy or Nick Viall. Oh my God. So she's like having to put herself out there. And I will say probably 50 to 60% of the audience, that shit seems to work. But then there's another really passionate side where it's like, that's kind of gross and it goes against what you're actually saying. And it just shows you're in it for all the wrong reasons. And that's what all of this shit is too, is just to boost your social media following so you can get a little piece of sunshine from this. And I just think it is, it's gross. Like, sorry, you made your experiences on that show null and void once you were removed in the way that you were removed. I don't want to hear you talk about this show for like 3 to 6 months and then maybe talk about some of these experiences. But I don't know. I just don't think it's helpful. And I think it undercuts her initial apology.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyways, that happened today. So now let's go on to what you had brought up beginning, is that Nick Viall is a mogul now. He not only has a hugely hit podcast, he's hosting reunions, but now he is producing television. He is hosting an age gap dating show with Harry Jowsey Oh, he's hosting an age gap. No, these are two separate things. He's hosting an age gap dating show. It's called Age of Attraction, which will follow a group of singles ages 22 to 59 as they date each other. Hosted by Nick Viall and his wife, 26-year-old Natalie Joy. The series aims to see if age is just a number or will the years come between them. So, Sophie, your thoughts?
Disgusting. First of all, why are we glamorizing these extreme age gap relationships when I think it's very clear that Nick Viall, I know that she wasn't underage. She was 19 when they met. He was pushing 40. He was in his late 30s. That's disgusting. I'm sorry. That's still considered grooming. Like, I'm not just throwing that word out
Sophie,
there.
the heart wants what the heart wants.
My God, it's disgusting. I think that like they keep doing everything they can to justify age gap relationships because they know deep down how weird it is.
But isn't it interesting though? Then they're actually part of normalizing something that potentially shouldn't be normalized.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Is that this is going to come out on Netflix and people are going to be like, yeah, it's cool to like older dudes. Or it's cool. Like there is something that is making something normal that maybe they should be the exception, not the rule. Maybe their relationship should be the exception and not like what everybody should be out there doing, right?
And why the fuck does he keep getting opportunities? Why?
Well, the train has already left the station. Like, listen, I don't listen to his show. I thought he did okay on that Mormon Wives thing. Obviously, he has a very big, successful platform. He's got a great manager and he's making these deals. And I sometimes think the people that make the deals, they don't realize or they don't really pay attention to what are being said about the people. It's just the fact that he created this platform.
Yes. Oh my God. It's like the people that like give Alex Cooper opportunity. They're like, yeah, that Call Her Daddy girl. Gen Z loves her.
Yes, it does not matter. It's just the fact that and by the way, to his credit, he did create something very successful. He is monopolizing off of that success. Whether or not he deserves that or is good at it is almost inconsequential at this point.
Okay, so Christy and I were talking about this earlier, actually, when we were recording Dark Energy Tuesday. But we were talking about how like Call Her Daddy is the daddying. You have baddies. Snarkbait, we have baby snarks.
Baby snarks.
What are like the File listeners? Violators? That's what Christy said. She was like, violators?
The Epsteins. The Epsteins. No, sorry.
Oh my God. But like, actually,
we're the sick fucks. Yeah. No, I'm joking. Like, you know what I will say? Sophie, I will see clips because those clips are everywhere. They get pushed out on TikTok and all that stuff. And that's how I see like Call Her Daddy or whatever and Nick. And then I saw a clip because I always thought, I didn't realize, like, I know Natalie's in there, but I think it looks like a couple other girls are in there with him as well. And I think it was Olandria from Love Island USA they had on there. And I saw a clip where Natalie was like, holy shit, girl, your tits are amazing. And I was like, what is happening on this show? Like, I was like, wait, what? And obviously Nick didn't say that. Natalie said that, but I was like, are we allowed to it wasn't Alandria. It was Amaya. And it was talking, and Maya was like, no, these are, I paid a lot of money for these. But I was like, wait, if you're a girl on these shows, you're allowed to just come out and say, you got nice tits. I was like, what?
Nice rat.
Nice rat.
No, you're allowed to say that when you're Natalie Joy and you have literally no credentials. But like, watch them win like a Peabody Award for like journalism.
That's the next thing. He is up for a Pulitzer in podcasting. I know the haters are going to say this is just me being a hater, but I'm true. Like it is interesting though.
I'm openly a hater. I'm not denying.
But I always try to keep it a little more middle. But it is interesting. Your point about this show is that just because something exists doesn't mean it should exist. And, I believe he's an executive producer on this show as well. So it's something that I think they brought to Netflix, which is also fascinating to me. And the sad thing is, this could be a hit. This is like wacky enough where it could be a hit. Watching older dudes hit on younger girls.
Oh my God.
But don't you think it's messy enough that this could be a hit?
They could at least tap, obviously, Nick Lachey. Like, come on.
So that's going to come out. And then also in this press release for it, Harry Jowsey, like this is another one. This is where I show my age because I know where he comes from Netflix. But why is this man legitimately everywhere all the time? In fact, today they released photos of him holding hands with Sia. the music guru Sia. Did you see this? Him holding hands with Sia
Harry
today?
Jowsey was?
Harry Jowsey.
Wait, you know how Sia does this thing where she like basically does Make-A-Wish for like random reality stars? Did you hear
Survivor,
about this?
she would give out like
Yeah.
Survivor awards every season. She stopped doing that last season. Is Harry
Jowsey her new like Make-A-Wish person?
Well, Sia, I mean, listen, I don't think this is truly romantic, but Sia did get a divorce recently from her ex, and I just like this Harry now. He was previously appeared on Netflix's Too Hot to Handle and Perfect Match, and now he is looking for a wife in the new Netflix reality show Let's Marry Harry. Over the course of the series, his friends will help him narrow down a large pool of potential matches in hopes of finding someone to marry. Among those friends will be Call Her Daddy host Alex Cooper, who produces his podcast Boyfriend Material. An open casting call for Let's Marry Harry is underway.
Wait, oh my God. Do you remember I Want to Marry Harry, that reality show that had a fake Prince Harry?
Yes.
I feel like the name is like too similar. Like,
well, I think maybe they're yeah, it's wild, but like it is so interesting how we are. And like I said, I don't listen to his podcast. I'm just aware
it's
of
really
him.
Bad.
But I'm just aware of him from like Daily Mail and TMZ headlines, and he always seems like he's everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, you might be more familiar with him. Is he? I mean, he must be super charming, but is he like? What is the draw?
He's tall and British. That's really it. He's Austin Kroll with a British accent. No,
that's what I was saying. Bravo needs to answer this immediately. Of like, let's marry Craig Conover, or like, let's.
They already did Relationship. Remember that? And all of the women self-eliminated.
There was a one-season show, you guys, like 7 years ago, Relationship, where Shep Rose was trying to find it was only one season, and he is still single, which, by the way, Austin was on Watch What Happens Live with Sarah Jessica Parker, like just really quick and a brief thing. And Andy was like, hey, how are you and your girlfriend? And he was like, and he seemed like, he's like, well, just tune into this season of Southern Charm. So I think Austin is no longer with his girlfriend.
Oh, shoot. Oh, yeah. I thought that was the one for him.
Camelot has fallen.
Camelot has fallen. I loved how, when he called in or whatever, that
he called in with Sarah Jessica Parker.
He's like a big Sex and the City fan.
Yeah, and then he pitched him and Craig being extras in one of the scenes for And Just Like That. And I was like, do you know what will make that show even more so bad it's good? Is if Austin and Shep pop up on next season of And Just Like That. And by the way, I want Austin to pop up as a Che Diaz type character, like a non-binary podcaster, comedian.
Oh my God, please.
And by the way, I also want Austin to use his actual name, but it's no affiliation with Southern Charm. Of like, hey, I'm Austin Kroll. Like, I mean, that show could get away with it. That's how I will accept anything if it's on And Just Like That.
Wait, so I'm not done with this past episode yet, but I watched.
It's only 31 minutes.
I like. It's really hard to get through, you guys, these days. It's just getting worse and worse every episode. Charlotte and Harry's bed being this big. And they're like rich.
Oh my God. Rebecca said the same. Rebecca was like, what the fuck is up with their, like, why does everybody have normal sized beds in the show? And their bed is so small. And then Harry, unfortunately going through prostate cancer, everybody get routinely checked for that. Obviously, important message. But his big thing is like, my balls are huge, Charlotte. I've got huge balls. Because of the surgery, my balls are like grapefruits. And I'm like, yes, keep this going. Like the only thing that...
Yeah.
Miranda, it's me, Steve. Why am I not in the show at all anymore? We share children, Miranda, please.
I'm
going ball, Miranda. Okay, sorry to get up, but I don't know how we got... Oh, yeah, we were going to Harry Jowsey, and then we went to... Okay, so... Harry Jowsey has a new show as well. So the future of reality television is looking bleak, folks. It is looking bleak, but I swear we will probably make both of these shows gigantic in some way. But the Nick Viall one, I think, could have a potential to be a hit just because it is so damning. It is so weird already in its concept. And it is what people refer to as grooming in a sense. So that is so hot button that it might actually be a success because of that.
Oh, God. I mean, like, knowing me, I'm going to end up watching. But
see, you know what's about, like, I bet before the end of 2025, folks, we're going to make Sophie a Nick Viall fan. I bet it's going to happen. And it's going to be like, will they, won't they? Of like, God, the sexual tension between these two podcasters is insane.
Please, Ryan. Wait, you said it's going to be on Netflix, right?
Yeah, Netflix, yeah.
See, and that also helps because the Netflix user experience is so much better than any other app. I'm so much more likely to watch something on Netflix, unfortunately.
True, but at the same time, Netflix also is one of those things that it's like toilet paper. Like I never really
It's
fully
garbage.
remember. Yeah, I just kind of just go on with my life.
I feel like I have like a conspiracy theory that like that show, The Waterfront, like half of it was AI. Like it was so bad. Like I think it was actually written, the script was AI. Like
Isn't that
I
Kevin
think,
Williamson, the guy who wrote Scream, wrote that, The Waterfront?
I don't know. It's the guy from Mindhunter though, is one of the actors in it.
Oh yeah, the lead
It was
guy.
so bad, you guys. It was so bad. I think that like so much of their slop is literally just becoming AI generated.
But isn't their slop different than in Just Like That? I think and Just Like That
Yeah.
is elitist slop.
No, I
It's
agree.
like, like so for some reason I'm able to like remember and Just Like That way more than things that I see on Netflix that are not documentary. Like the documentaries
It's
I
like
still dig.
highbrow, like premium slop.
Highbrow
You know?
premium.
It's like the Game of Thrones of slop, you know?
Game of Thrones of Slop. I'm in. You actually just, by the way, Game of Thrones of Slop would be a great thing on their poster for the Waterfront. Game of Thrones of Slop. I think that would sell it. In positive news this weekend, Charlie XCX is having an old ball and chain summer because she is now married. She wed the drummer of the band, the 1975, her longtime boyfriend, George Daniel. They did a small ceremony on the steps of Hackney Town Hall on Saturday afternoon. There's going to be a larger party later this summer where people like the lead singer, Maddie, will be at. He was not at this courtside wedding situation, but I kind of like this. Charlie XCX did a funny TikTok and her bride dress, and they've been dating for a long time, and I thought that was nice. Like she's now married to the drummer of the 1975. So congrats, Charlie XCX.
Yeah, no, and I love how she just looked like herself. She's wearing a Vivienne Westwood dress. It was kind of like a mini dress. And yeah, she just like looked like her. She looked brat.
Yeah.
Yeah, loved it.
Well, they had the Brat album, but then there was a second album that they released with like kind of remixes of certain Brat songs that she worked on. And I really love it. It's like Brat, and I forgot what the title is, but it's on Spotify. But one of these, they do this song where she does a voiceover and she talks about getting like older and like having this album that hit out of nowhere and became the biggest success of her life. But at the same time, dealing with you're at this age as a woman where people are telling you have to have a baby and she wants to settle down. And she's been with her boyfriend for a very long time. But I thought it was so honest, this voiceover of like having all of this success come for you. And do I keep touring or do I actually step away and have a child? And thinking about, success isn't all that it's cracked up to be because you still have all these real life world things happening. And to your point, like the conversations between Nia and Kristen on the Valley, talking about having children and it ruining your body and the experiences, real experiences that women have to go through trying to deal with, like, having these successes that women should be having more of, but then having to deal with real life things happening at the same time. And that always stuck with me listening to that remix album.
Yeah. No, I love that. I mean, I personally love that message as a 30-something-year-old woman.
No, I think it's like, no, I just thought that was like, yeah, but it's like, wow, this has been the biggest year of her career. And, so congrats to Charlie XCX. Now, Southern Hospitality is currently filming season 4 right now, but on Friday, I thought this was funny that it was such a big announcement because, I was like, okay, a lot of people don't even watch Southern Hospitality yet, even though they should. But Will Culp, who has been a star for the first 3 seasons, announced his exit on Friday from the Bravo reality series. And he did this big post on his Instagram stories and said, a little update. The new season has started filming, and unsurprisingly, I will not be part of it this year. I will likely never film a second of reality TV ever again. It has been a horrible experience and a life lesson. A big thanks to some cast and some production, Andy Cohen, and all of the crew for the seasons past. You know who you are. Your kindness and professionalism are rare occurrences in this industry. Best of luck to this new season. I hope it can be entertaining without a defamatory storyline or unwanted use of my name, image, and likeness. When it is appropriate, I will talk more about the experiences with production and the network which led to this decision. I'm happy to be moving on, and I will be cheering Emmy on from the sidelines with the rest of you. Did you read this?
I read it and I was like, what the fuck? I didn't watch Southern Hospitality. Like, what's his deal? What's his lore?
Well, I was like, well, his lore was There was a lot of rumors about him cheating with multiple people during the show and then at college, and he's trying to be a lawyer. He was also talking shit about Emmy to other castmates. Now, he is now engaged. He got engaged to Emmy on the offseason, and Emmy, to me, became a reality star this season. She would, like, wear the non-waterproof mascara, so it would be like Erica Jane dripping down her face in multiple seasons, and all these people would be like, this guy isn't great for you, and it would be so wild. So it does not surprise me that he is not coming back, but it surprises me that he made this big of a post about it, because he's like, this has been a miserable experience. It's like, yes, I want everybody should know by now. If you go on reality TV, you will potentially make money at some point, but it will most likely be a miserable experience for you in your life. That's just how it's going to be.
Yeah.
So they are filming right now, and I'm hearing that this is not the only cast changes or shakeup for season 4, but they have not announced the rest of those yet, so I'm sure we'll be hearing those soon. I didn't pick it up, Sophie. It's good. By the way, if you like Next Gen NYC.
I know. I've been meaning to watch it. I've been meaning to add it to my list. But who is the one that's dating Joe Bradley? Maddie
Reese. She's like the DJ.
On TikTok, it said, from your contacts, Maddie. And I was like, why is this person from Southern Hospitality in my contacts? So I looked her up in my phone. It said Maddie Republic. I was definitely texting her when I was planning my sister's bachelorette party.
Okay, this is so bad it's good. So bad it's good. Snarkbait, Laura. When Sophie was planning her bachelorette party, she contacted
my
Republic.
My sisters and back in 2021.
They wanted to charge you like $40,000.
Oh yeah, that was okay. So that was different for my wedding after party. I asked them about, I was inquiring about my after party, and they said that it was going to cost $40,000. So like, I didn't even want to rent out the place. I was like, let's get a few tables, like whatever, $40,000. And then someone, I think like a baddie or baby snark reached out to me and was like, hey, Leva mentioned, I guess like Ryan reached out to Leva, or Leva was listening to an episode and Leva said she was going to reach out to you. Did she reach out to you? And she never reached out to me. But anyway, we ended up planning the after party the night of my wedding. We were like, let's go to this place, Ritual. And it was so much fun.
It was, I remember walking over to Ritual and then we called it. But that, because we had been partying for like 5 hours at that point. And, God, that was such a great night though. Your wedding and after party was so amazing. Okay. So, and also if I went into Republic and I was like, oh, this is not, it's not huge. Like, it's like, it's less big.
Yeah, it has like a back garden. Like, it's, it's kind of, it does remind me of Sir a little bit, actually.
Well, so Joe and Maddie are dating on this show, and they have been for the last season, but they were there, and I met Joe and Maddie at your, that weekend at your wedding in person, but then we were at that Kathy Hilton holiday party, and that was the night DJ James Kennedy had that whole situation with his ex, and I remember I was talking to comedian Justin Martindale and Joe, he's just a funny dude. And he's out there supporting Maddie on his, like, our DJ gigs. So I'm curious what will happen, because he wanted to move in with her immediately and like lock her down. And I don't think she wants to be locked down yet.
I do remember a scene from the pilot where Maddie like lost her vape under the fridge and was trying to move the fridge to get her vape. And I'm like, that is so, like, back then when I was watching that, I was like, that's so relatable.
This is good. This is what I'm talking about. Everybody goes through losing their vape. Come on. Okay, so that happened. Also, this is a little bit more serious, but I do want to bring this up, is that obviously Denise Richards and Aaron Pfeiffer's are going through a divorce. And remember, he filed, and we talked about that. But then this week, Denise Richards came out with photos of just a horrible black eye and said that her husband, Aaron, had abused her and had been abusing her. And it was just horrific. And I thought once that happened, like, just saying, insanely jealous, anger issues, all of these things. Now, Aaron then went on TMZ. It's always great when somebody goes on the record with TMZ, went on and said, listen, I did not abuse her. She fell into like a staircase outside of my business. Other people can testify to this, or like, can back me up on this. But the reason I filed for divorce is that I caught her cheating. I saw on her phone and these messages, and she was trying to hide it from me. First off, if you found these things on her phone, it means you were already, like, it seems horrible. I mean, I do not believe she fell into a stairwell. I do not believe that.
Oh, no, absolutely not. Do you remember that scene, though? And everyone's been circulating it, obviously, now that this is going on.
I'm going to crush your fucking hand.
I'm going to crush your fucking hand.
Isn't it funny, Sophie? There's another time where we see a scene on its face and we say it's so bizarre, but then we kind of not normalize it, but we're like, oh, it kind of is funny. That's like just a pressure situation.
He was also like such a fucking weirdo.
Oh, yeah. I posted a clip on my Instagram about, remember that whole monologue at the dinner table about how cancer is your best friend and that it like helps your body before it kills you. And it's such a batshit crazy scene because Mauricio's like stoned. He's like, I totally get what you're saying, but nobody else at the table gets it. And then Lisa Rinna, a talking head, says, my husband, Harry, has been working in nuclear fusion for the last 30 years, and he says this is not true. And I was like, wait, Rinna, Harry Hamlin works in nuclear fusion? Like, what are you fucking it's all crazy.
Since when? Also, the way you just said nuclear. Okay, W. Bush.
Nuclear. I will say that's my Kansas upbringing. There are still words that I say that are totally very odd the way I say them. But yeah, so like, he seemed to have anger things back then, and we kind of just wrote that off and said, oh, it takes all types of people in this world. And then, like, listen, I also think, yeah, maybe she was cheating. Who the fuck gives a shit? I mean, like, do you see that eye? So he's saying he filed because she was cheating. It just still doesn't add up. So this thing is going to be a war now. And also, if she got this black eye and you're saying she got this black eye at your business, your place of business is like healing the body super quick. Like, wouldn't you heal this like face bruise? Like, it's none of it makes sense.
That's a great question, actually. That's a great question.
Yeah, but it's sad. And it just shows you what we see on reality television isn't always the actual reality, obviously, of their reality.
Yep.
Okay. In great news this week, do you know what this time of year is?
Hot summer nights.
Kind of.
July.
It's kind of, well, we're in the middle of Leo yacht season. Leo DiCaprio is taking his annual yachting. And this week, and I love it this week because the press has been so supportive that they are saying that Leo has lost weight. They're like, Leo DiCaprio noticeably thinner on his yacht.
I noticed that. I think that he's on the GLP-1 train.
Good for you, buddy. By the way, Leo DiCaprio should be producing that Nick Viall reality show, don't you think?
Yeah. What if he's like a guest star?
Yes. Nick, I think you're talking about an important issue that we need to talk about more. We should be getting young girls, young chicks. Very important.
We get older, but they stay the same age.
We need, Matthew McConaughey as a guest judge on, I don't know if there's judges, but like a host. Like, all right. Get in here, ladies. You are going to be.
It's RuPaul's Drag Race, but it's like 18-year-old girls dressing up for old men.
All right. I saw your beef. I love it. Woo! Well, you got a lot of ladies to choose from. And you know what's great? This is where we're headed with society. The guy that is going to be going after all these women is our current president, Donald Trump. Mm-hmm. It's going to be our first. He's going to be whatever this Bachelor is considered on the Nick Viall show. It's going to be great. It's going to be a good show. Okay, so Leo yacht season. He is in the Mediterranean and those areas when all the celebrities go on yachts. But he always does it with like his close pussy posse pals. Tobey Maguire is there. His current girlfriend is there. But it is so fun. Like every year I look forward to these yachting photos. And, it's like, remember the one year when Jonah Hill was allowed on the yacht?
Yeah. Iconic. So his current girlfriend, Vittoria Pedretti, I think is how you say her name. She's 26. Like that.
So are we saying that's good for him or still young?
No, I mean, like, I think the running joke is that he never dates someone once they are over 25. So the fact that he's still with her, it's like, is it cuffing season? Is he ready to settle down finally?
Somebody's growing up. Somebody is growing up.
He's never felt this way before.
Do you think, I mean, like, in all joking aside, do you think he looks at like older women and just is like, gross? Like you can talk to him and stuff, but like, he's just like, no, I'm good. Like, I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah. He's like everyone ships him and Kate Winslet still, but he's like, ugh.
But he like, because he might actually have kissed a lot of older women, but that's like when he really comes down on the press. Don't you ever fucking release that. You keep it going that I'm just after 25 and younger. Don't you ever release that to the press. Like if he got really upset.
I mean, it would look really good for him press-wise because I think I feel like, I mean, obviously he's a Hollywood legend. He's a forever permanent A-lister.
Amazing actor.
Amazing actor, so talented, Oscar winner. But it's like, that guy's kind of gross that he only likes young, early 20-something women. Like, I think PR-wise, it would be great for him to have an age-appropriate relationship.
Oh, I completely think it would be amazing. Like, you know, like even George Clooney, who wasn't like really tackled for like the young, but like he was like, I'm never going to marry, I'm never going to settle down. And then he, you know, Amal Clooney, and now they have like twins, right? Like it's completely different lifestyle for George Clooney. So usually you save that for like 55. So Leo is like 5 years away from having to do this.
Yeah. So I guess, we'll see what happens.
Okay. Moving on. Let's talk about Coldplay. The obviously the concert that you want to go to with your side piece. This week, I mean, this really seemed to make the internet very happy. It was like we threw some meat to the wolves. Is that this? You know, what is it? Tech guy? This guy from Astronomer?
CEO of Astronomer, whatever the fuck that is, and his chief people officer.
Yeah, so they worked at this, and Coldplay does a section of their concert where they'll play a song and they'll put the camera out there in the audience. And, you know, at first sight, they were lovingly holding each other and then realized they were on camera. And she like ran away from him and he ducked down. And then there was one girl next to them realizing the situation. And he has since stepped down from this company. And the internet's reaction has been, you know, obviously hysterical. But then Coldplay at their concert last night, did you see this? Is that Chris Martin? He's like, okay, everybody get their makeup ready. On this next song, we like to do this thing where we want all of you to be featured, but we're going to have the camera in the audience. And, you know, so whatever you need to do, it's going to be happening very soon. Like he gave a warning without calling out the situation completely. And it's insane when a whole stadium laughs at a situation that potentially is now breaking up two families. But that is, I mean, isn't it wild? Like when, I mean, the internet just runs with it.
I mean, it's obviously gone like mega viral, but it's so funny because it wouldn't have gone viral if they just acted normal.
Yeah. Oh, and then everybody now is making fun of it on other sports kiss cams.
Yeah.
Where like the actor Seth Green and his wife, he like threw her down in the street, like, it's like, get out of here. And everybody has these like now funny reactions. So I'm curious how long this joke will last. Do you think it'll last a week? Do you think it'll last a month? Will we be joking about this in 6 months?
I think probably like a week, but
also Coldplay of all, because it is like a very romantic band in a sense.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot of love songs.
Yeah. Oh my God. Super romantic. I also didn't even know they were on tour and now I want to go. So like, this is really good press for Coldplay being on tour.
Oh my God, guys, imagine this. The camera goes into the audience and all of a sudden you see Sophie Ross and Nick Viall and Nick is holding Sophie. No, actually in this, Sophie's holding Nick. Sophie's holding Nick.
And we're like,
what?
It was supposed to be a secret.
Zoinks.
Oh my God.
So we will see what happens with that story this week. Also, I think you're a big Christopher Nolan fan, as am I, and he is currently shooting his new film, The Odyssey, with a star-studded cast. But this is what's interesting, is that this movie comes out in a little under a year now, but they have already put the tickets on sale. And in New York, the first day or the first weekend IMAX screenings are completely sold out a year in advance.
I mean, Christopher Nolan, that's what he does.
But isn't that crazy that like we have one filmmaker in this generation that is now like
he's
people
Taylor
are buying
Swift.
tickets he's buying tickets
Taylor
a
Swift.
year out. These tickets, some of them are already on StubHub for $1,000. Can you imagine?
No, like it actually is crazy to think about that. Like if Christopher Nolan did stadium tours, like he would sell out MetLife Stadium in like 5 seconds, like Taylor Swift. Like he literally like that's just. That's the magic of Christopher Nolan. But yeah, I also, okay, this is not related to Christopher Nolan, but my brother-in-law just told me about this new movie with Rami Malek. I want to see Superman, first of all.
I still haven't seen it either.
I really want to see it.
And Fantastic Four comes out this Friday.
Don't care about seeing that, but I want to see Superman. But my brother-in-law was telling me about this new Rami Malek movie called The Amateur. Have you seen the trailer for this?
No, what is it about?
It's a revenge. It's basically this like nerdy coder, Rami Malek. His wife is killed in a terrorist attack. And he does the whole like Liam Neeson, Jason Statham thing where he like hunts down the terrorists and enacts revenge. And I want to see it. I love like a Liam Neeson.
You love a Jason Statham.
I love Liam Neeson, Jason Statham-esque movies. Like, I'm so excited. I also still need to see Jurassic World.
I heard that wasn't bad. I want to see The Naked Gun with Liam Neeson that comes out, I think, next week.
Oh, anything with Liam Neeson, like, I'm there.
But this is like a spoof of kind of The Naked Gun. It's like a very spoof. It's not like his usual shitty thriller. Will you like it?
Yeah, probably. I mean, Liam, he's like a rock star to me. He's my rock star.
I have a specific set of skills, Sophie. Okay, so, The Amateur. I'm going to check that out. Also, as we start winding down here, this is actually a bigger, I guess, conversation. I hope you guys talk about this on Dark Energy Tuesday, but you might not actually, is that even if you are a fan or not a fan of this person, I think it's very interesting what happened to him. Have you been paying attention to the Stephen Colbert news with The Late Show?
Oh, okay. So I did see this. We didn't talk about it on DET, but yeah, crazy.
Okay, so Stephen Colbert, The Late Show, which is number one in the ratings. In terms of age demographic, it is like second, I believe. I think Fallon or Kimmel is first. But, late night hosts, there are kind of these three dudes. There should be obviously a woman up there, but now I think late night TV shows are going to go the way of the dodo bird soon. But Stephen Colbert was unceremoniously told that he will be ending the show in 10 months, and they are not having a replacement. They are just ending The Late Show that started 30 plus years ago with David Letterman coming from NBC to CBS. So they are not doing a replacement. Late night TV, for all intents and purposes at this point, will be done on CBS. The interesting part about this story is that recently, Skydance is trying to acquire Viacom and CBS. There's a big merger happening. And Colbert has always been very critical of the Trump administration, obviously in comic form. That's always what Colbert has done. Obviously, CBS just settled with Trump for $16 million because of the Kamala Harris 60 Minutes interview, which has caused shakeups at 60 Minutes. But this is very dangerous. Whether you are Republican or Democrat, this is very dangerous what is happening. We have like three corporations in charge of everything in this world, or that's where it's kind of headed. And we do need, whether you agree with them or not, you need voices that are being able to say whatever they want to say. Freedom of speech is a tenet of this nation. It is something that I hold very dear. I get to come on and yell about Jax Taylor every week. I think it's very, very important. And when these people are trying to merge, these are like business things that shouldn't be interfering with content, especially when you are the number one person on late night television. You're going to hear a lot of stories about how this show is losing money. That is not true. Be careful of the news that is put out there. Did you have any thoughts out there? Because listen, I don't think we watch this show, but it's very important to support shows like this.
I mean, the government controlling the media is obviously terrifying. Like, we're on the fast track to...
It's authoritarian. It's fascism.
Yeah. And then also it kind of reminds me a little bit of the fact that Jeff Bezos is allegedly buying Vogue.
For Anna Wintour as like a wedding gift.
Yeah. Like, we have like modern day like oligarchs and like, it's just terrifying. It's terrifying. The one thing that defines a democracy and a free country, and our country specifically, is freedom of speech, freedom of press, media, journalists. Like, suppressing those voices is fucking terrifying.
And it's just, this is usually not how these things go when you are at the top of your game or the top of a ratings chart. And they are saying this is just, no, it's not anything political. It's a business decision. It wasn't sustainable. But the way in which it happened, where you even surprised Stephen Colbert, who found out the night before, he announced it to his audience after he filmed an episode, and then they actually redid the beginning just to make a quick announcement to put it out there. Now, he does have 10 months on the air still. I'm curious how much of that 10 months he'll make through, because I feel if it gets too crazy, they might just pay him out and yank him entirely, which would open it up to a lawsuit. Now, also, remember, Viacom is also the owner of Comedy Central. It owns so many different pieces I'm hearing The Daily Show is on the chopping block as well. Also, South Park is a Viacom-operated property, and we're supposed to start a new season of South Park. Matt Parker and Trey Stone's, comedy that's been around forever, but also highly political and says what they want to say, freedom of speech. I'm hearing now they have just hired Matt and Trey, Brian Friedman, who has represented Justin Baldoni and the Lively Baldoni, because they are going to war with Viacom because of the Skydance merger, because they are having some of their things removed from the internet, episodes being censored, and that was never their deal. So they have enlisted Brian Friedman, which is so interesting. But also remember, if you watched this season, and only a handful of you guys did, season 2 of The Rehearsal, Nathan Fielder had a brilliant episode talking about Paramount Plus, which is Viacom-owned property, and talked about how they had removed an episode of Nathan For You that involved, and well, pretty much he was comparing Paramount Plus to a modern-day Hitler. Nazi Germany, and the way they filmed it with like this big kind of Nazi hall with like Paramount Plus banners.
And they're wearing SS uniforms and like practicing their marching, but it has like Paramount Plus logos and like their armbands.
And the droll Nathan Fielder voiceover on it. It's a brilliant episode, but this episode came out 3+ months ago. And what we're seeing though, since then, Nathan was right. You're seeing it with South Park, you're seeing it with Stephen Colbert, and you're probably going to see it with The Daily Show. And I think that is a very weird, interesting time. And just remember, even if you don't agree with the content, also, you're not a billionaire. Billionaires don't care about you. You are not a corporation. Corporations don't care about us. Whatever side of the line you are, they do not care about you. You are an ant. We are all ants. And what is happening is very, very scary. So just pay attention to it. And really, I mean, I usually don't call for boycotts of anything, but I did get rid of my Paramount Plus subscription. I mean, really, to be honest, it was my least favorite streaming service regardless. But just consider that kind of stuff. NPR and PBS is getting defunded. Things that actually, I still listen to NPR on a daily basis. And PBS, I don't know if it's really popular for kids anymore, but that was like one of the stations that raised me. It was like Sesame Street. These things are getting defunded, and it's very, very important whether you think that or not. It's a part of society that I think is a good part of society.
I mean, as someone who also used to work in the media industry and was an aspiring journalist, every single website, Refinery 29, Deadspin. I used to work at Refinery, but like Deadspin that I used to love have been just decimated by these billionaire corporations and mergers. And it's so sad. Like, it's just sad as someone who, I studied journalism. I went to journalism school, and now it's like, what even is journalism anymore when billionaires run everything?
It is interesting. Everybody talks about journalism, ethics, and standards, and we're trying to get to a place where those don't matter anymore. Like, people really legitimately, like, I could put out something completely full of false information, and I could probably have a lot of people believe it really quickly. And that's a very scary time where we're trying to push down anybody with those ethics and standards. Obviously, this is like talking about humorous shows. So it's a little different, but it is on that kind of same path where if we let this happen, who knows what's going to happen next. And I've always been proud of the culture and, not been afraid of it. And I don't know. So that is something that's just been on my mind since it happened a couple of days ago. And like I said, I know this isn't a show about politics, but when it comes over into this pop culture space, I think it's very important to be aware of what is happening and just to be aware, not to be scared of it, but also just be aware so we can try to do something about it. Sophie, what's coming up on Snarkbait this week? Dark Energy Tuesday. Are we allowed to say who you're doing on Thursday?
Oh, we are covering an OG influencer. That's all I will say. So
when you say OG, does that mean 15 years ago? Does that mean 20 years ago? What does OG mean in terms of influencing?
It could mean 10 years ago, 2015, one of the first like Instagram influencers. You're just going to have to find out. You're going to have to listen.
And for the audience, sorry to keep you here, but like the influencing, what is considered an Instagram influencer as opposed to a TikTok influencer, like what are the different definitions? Like what does the umbrella hold for influencer?
I mean, the umbrella term is influencer, whether their main platform is TikTok or Instagram. Now they all are like across every platform. Like the most successful ones have a presence on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube and do like vlogs on YouTube. Honestly, so we actually did a Patreon episode this week about our like hottest takes and unpopular opinions. One of my hot takes is that I think that being an influencer is low-key hard, and a lot of them work really hard. And I know that sometimes it looks really easy because they make a lot of money to like post outfit pictures, but the ones that do like vlogs or like 3 TikToks a day that are like day in my life, like very highly edited TikToks and videos, and like even you, Ryan,
no,
like the amount of TikToks that you put out, like that's hard. Like editing a TikTok is hard.
Well, okay, I will say, like, to your point, also, I think it's hard in terms of, like, the emotional toll.
Yeah.
You know, being aware of that many people reacting to you and reading a list of comments. Rebecca's a big fan of this influencer, Emily Kaiser, whose son just passed away.
Oh my God.
Actually in Gilbert, Arizona, where my dad and sister live. And it's just this horrific story, but she was just devastated. And still, like, there was news that came out this week about this story.
Her husband is getting charged, or maybe getting charged.
They're potentially charging. It was like a pool death of this very young boy. But, you know, she opened up her life to a lot of people, and then a lot of people want to know what happened.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, it's just very sad, but like just knowing that many people having an opinion on your actual life. And like, I know, like over at Jeff, there's an influencer, Joey Zauzig, that I'm friendly with and I've worked with through Jeff and stuff. And even watching how he does it, we were on this Vegas trip, and on the plane, I was like, what is Joey doing? And he was like filming TikToks. He was like looking at the trending audio and like, you know, and I'm like, God, this seems like a lot of work. Like you're like always
so much work.
And then the streamers, we talked about this, like Aiden Ross and Neon and Kai Sennett. It's like you do all of this and then you have to hire all these people. What are they called? Like clip farms, where they'll pay people to clip up their episodes and just spam TikTok with them. So it doesn't come from the original account, but it comes from all the, because it all goes back into the same pot. Like it's an insane business.
Wait,
when you look at it.
When you're like listing off, you're like, Neon, like, and I'm like, yeah, totally. Never heard of these Twitch streamers, but yeah,
it's like all of these dudes that don't like that. You're like, this is idiotic. They're like, what's up, chat? What's up, fam? Also, Brand Flakes, who I do follow on TikTok, people keep saying he's on Summer House this season. This guy, Brand Flakes, do you know?
Oh, is he? I know who he is. I did not hear that. He's Philly based.
He's Philly based, but he's in the Hamptons. He's been in the Hamptons the last couple of weekends.
I don't know, maybe.
And also that guy, Connor Wood, Fibula.
I heard that he is definitely not. Demois debunked that and was like, Connor Wood. Yeah, Connor Wood definitely is not. I don't know about Brand Flakes. I don't think he is. I have not heard that, but like, sure.
Wouldn't it be great? Wouldn't it be great if Demois actually is on this season of Summer House, but we just never know because she's never fully revealed her identity?
She wears a purge mask. She's like at the parties, just like in the bushes.
Jesse Solomon's like, I was in Demois' room. She had a threesome, and I was getting my toe licked by one of Demois' followers.
And she has a situationship with West.
Her talking heads are really scary because she's wearing a mask all the time. Anyway, Snarkbait, you guys. Dark Energy Tuesday. Go, follow, love, support. Sign up for their Patreon. Christy and Sophie, world dominating. And anything else that we need to know about?
No, I think that's about it.
I know we forgot about 10 things, but sorry.
Pete Davidson.
Oh, shit. Pete Davidson. He got somebody pregnant. They had sex. He didn't use a condom.
Yeah, they had sex.
Oh, wait, Elise. What's the girl's name?
Elsie Dewitt. And she used to date Benny
DiCaprio.
Blanco.
Wasn't DiCaprio involved at some point in there?
I don't think DiCaprio. Benny Blanco. Ryan Phillippe. She sued Ryan Phillippe for domestic abuse.
So I'm guessing this will be on Dark Energy Tuesday, right?
Yes, we do talk about this.
So that's great. Go to Dark Energy Tuesday for a continuation of this just amazing little discussion that we had. She sued Ryan Phillippe. Damn. But Pete Davidson, going to be a dad. That's going to be wild. I kind of was happy about that, but who knows?
Yeah, no, happy for him. Mazel.
Happy Monday, you guys.
Bye.